Hey there, welcome to Supersize Your Business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Our idiom, our expression today is take one's vows. So how do we take one's vows to supersize and grow our business? What does it have to do with building and growing our business? Take one's vows, of course, dates back to the 1300s. It comes from the Anglo-Saxon, Anglo-French, Old French, whatever vocabulary. It means to make a promise to God, a solemn oath, a pledge, a dedication to devote your life to a higher power, whatever you believe in. It comes from the Bible, of course. Got biblical origins, a solemn promise. But many of us, at least half the population, has taken a vow of marriage. And there's different vows that we exchange in marriage. Some people take it really seriously, some people not so much. I was married for 25 years. I took my wedding vows obviously more seriously than my ex-husband did. But that's a story for another day. So what does it mean and how does this apply to our business? It means to make a decision or a promise. Now, to me personally, a vow is a commitment, which is more than doing what we say we're going to do. It means I'm going to do what I said I was going to do no matter what. No matter what the circumstances, I'm going to do the thing I said I'm going to do, that I committed to do, and I'm going to follow through on that. There's a difference between a vow, doing what you say you're going to do, and making a commitment or a promise. To me, a promise, if you promise to do something, you ought to do it. But everybody has different definitions for words like commitment, promises, do what you say you'll do, which ties to our consistency, our commitment, our trustworthiness, our honesty, our clarity in communication and sharing expectations, all important and critical as we're supersizing and growing our businesses. It doesn't take long for people to realize that you're not trustworthy if you don't do what you say you're going to do. And that's just the kind of, to me, the bottom line in the sand when it comes to commitment and promises and trustworthiness. Growing a business, supersizing a business for sure, is challenging on a good day. And there's always going to be bad things that happen outside of us and outside of our control. But it doesn't mean the end game, the supersized business we dream of creating and are working toward creating, doesn't have to happen. It's just not going to happen in the way we planned out in the front end of when we first started our business, right? I have yet to be involved in a business that the plan I started out with was exactly what we followed to create the end result. Never. I haven't met a business owner that's happened for, and I personally have been involved in dozens of businesses and industries, none of which have gone according to the plan that we originally set out with. Why? Because the world and everything around us is always changing. And if we're not willing to flow and change with it, we're going to be in trouble and we're going to be stressed out. We're going to be freaked out. And chances are we're going to quit because of those reasons, or health challenges. A lot of people drop dead because things don't work out the way they expect them to. So I am curious, have you heard this expression, takes one's vows? I was married, took my vows when I got married. One of those people that did not write my own vows, and that's a long story, again, for another day. But what does it mean to you? And are you 100% committed to supersizing and growing your business, creating the business that you want to see in the world? Are you committed to doing that? And not just committed to doing it, would you take a vow to do whatever it takes to make sure that happens? As soon as you make that decision and that choice inside of you, it's a given that you will create the thing that you want. How do I know? Because I've done it dozens and dozens of times. I decide, I commit to that. I might be wishy-washy until I commit to it, but once I commit to it, it's going to happen. There's no doubt in my mind that the thing I want is going to show up in my life. And it doesn't just work that way for me. It works that way for everybody. I did find a little bit of interesting thing. Whenever I look into and research these idioms, it's really interesting the roads it takes me down and the things that I learned. Talked a lot about nuns and, the Catholic Church and nuns and priests, etc., which I grew up Catholic, so I knew a lot of that stuff, but I found it really interesting that some of that stuff's still true today. And then the difference between a vow and an oath. I've never really thought about that before. Politicians take an oath of office, and the difference between a vow and an oath is a vow is a personal promise. And to me, that's much more powerful than an oath. Look at all the politicians that break their oath of office, like almost all of them right now. So an oath is something that's sworn to in front of some kind of an institution or authority. So when the president takes the oath of office, or a senator, or all the other different levels, or judges, they take an oath of office. Well, people break something that they do for another institution all the time. But if you take a vow, if you vow to do something, it's a personal commitment and promise to yourself, and you're very unlikely to break that, right? Just like marriage vows, we vow to the other person, but if we don't make that commitment and vow to ourselves, and then it really doesn't matter. And that's how people cheat, right? They cheat because they took a vow, but they took it not personally, they took it as part of a ceremony or something, if that makes sense. All right, love to hear your experience with vows, taking one's vows, what your thoughts are about what a vow is versus just a promise, or do what you say you're going to do. I'm really haven't never thought about vows that much, but after studying it and looking into the idiom, now it's on the top of my mind. I'm looking for it everywhere. All right, have an awesome day. I will be with you tomorrow with another relationship-related idiom for the month of June. If there's one you'd like to know the meaning of, hit me up. Otherwise, I'll just keep picking them, and we'll talk about what I randomly pick as a relationship-related idiom and tie that to how we grow and build and supersize our business. All right, have an awesome day.